Hey guys, welcome back. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Today is my 7th round of Shop My Stash? I do believe it's my 7th round, which is exciting because this was a much requested series that I do, and I don't know about you guys, but I am enjoying the heck out of my Shop My Stash. It is allowing me to put my hands on products that are in my collection, and you know, some of them I've never used and some I'm just revisiting an old love. Let's go over the items that I pulled in last round. I did not pull a full face only because I am panning so many items. So I only had a very limited amount of items. So they're all in this little bag here. So I wouldn't forget what they are. All right, I pulled in my Hourglass Diffused Heat Blush. I really like this. I think it's described as a poppy on Hourglass's website, if I remember. I really like it. It is somewhat of a peachy nude. Very pretty, very pigmented. Not what I'm used to with my Hourglass blushes, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed this and I'm glad that I brought it in. I brought in my Marvelous Mauves palette by Dose of Colors. This was a gift from my friend Tracy. I love the formula of this palette. I had never used Dose of Colors before, and I fell in love with this palette a lot. Very creamy, beautiful. These are all mattes, and I am an all matte kind of gal, so I really enjoyed playing with this palette, using it, getting to know it, and yeah, I'm glad I pulled it in because this is truly a wonderful, wonderful formula. I didn't think I would like it with it only being 5 eyeshadows all in the same, you know, color story, but the formula is gorgeous and makes a stunning look. I've been holding this in my hand forever and picking up other items, so let's just get this out of the way. This is my Milani Amore Shine Crush Begun liquid lipstick. I like the shade. I think it is gorgeous. For some reason, I thought this dried down to matte. It does not. It leaves a nice shiny lip, which is nice, except this kind of color, I need it to kind of be more of a color that will stay put and not fade. So just because of the shade it is, but I really like the formula. Very comfortable, very nice. I played with my Marc Jacobs Instamark face duo. I really enjoyed this. I used this one the most. I mixed it with the bronzer that I'm panning. That's just a little too light. This is a little too dark, and the formula on this is exquisite. I really enjoy this palette. I did not dip into this darker or this lighter shade at all. I'm missing my nail polish. Sorry about my nails. I did not dip into the lighter shade at all. I just used this bronzer, but I really like the formula. Blends beautifully, and if you get too much, all you have to do is put a little elbow grease in there and it blends out nicely. So I really enjoyed this. I need to play with it more because I think this formula is really nice, and since I have it, I might as well use it. And then my last item is my Lorac Noir palette. This is gorgeous. Now, I didn't play with it a whole lot, but when I did play with it, I fell in love with this palette. Beautiful eyeshadows, gorgeous formula, blends beautifully. This shade right here, gorgeous, gorgeous. Probably my favorite color out of this whole palette. It's just a really nice eyeshadow palette, and I'm so glad I purchased this. I mean, I asked the people on Influencer if they thought it was worth it. They said yes, and they are so right. Just gorgeous. So let's hop on over to my drawers and see what I pull for round 7. All right, guys. Since you guys like me to do shop my stash at my drawers, here I am, and hopefully you won't see how messy it is over here. But at the top drawer we have some lip products, and then my liquid cream crayon eyeshadows. And I am going to take Maui's Truffle. This is a new to me eyeshadow stick, and I want to try it out. This drawer is also a hot mess. As you can see, I moved stuff the other day and I just threw it in here. Let's pull in the Sleek palette. It's the Solstice highlighting palette. I think I've used this maybe once, so I think this will be a good item to pull in. Okay, over here we have my Super Shock shadows and some single eyeshadows. You know what? I want to pull this in. Don't mind my nails. I need to redo them. It's Sherbet Day, part of the Halo ice cream collab. That just looks like a fun shade for spring. This is my Dior powder shimmer, and when I received it, it was completely shattered, and I just repressed it. So let's play with that. Let's pull in Honeysuckle. It's a baked blush by Lorac. This has somewhat of a peachy nude pull to it, so that might be a nice neutral blush to have. Holy smoke. So we're going to pull in Soft Silver Red by Revlon, which is my favorite brand of lipstick, as well as NYX's Shout Loud Desert Rose, I believe is what it's called. And I want to pull this Pink For Me Maybelline lipstick. And here is one of my eyeshadow drawers. I have, like I said, I have just been shoving stuff into my drawers lately, so they're not organized at all. Let's pull in Sweet Talk. I was going to pull in my Nudes of New York, but I changed my mind to go with my Dose of Color Desi and Katy collab. It's the Friendcation Palette. This I received from Leah, so let's try this. So while we were pulling the items for round 7, Shop My Stash, I decided I would swatch them here instead of fighting with my phone trying to film Shop My Stash while swatching. I'm a little worried that I didn't pull a coherent, theme across my products, but it's okay if I didn't. I can definitely use them in other looks. Let's swatch my Honeysuckle Blush by Lorac. I love the baked blush formula, but I don't use them very often, only because I'm always panning a blush. But that is Honeysuckle. That is very pretty. It is like a peachy nude. Very nice, very soft. You can really sheer it out. You can build it up, but on me, it looks better sheared out than it does, as a really striking blush. All right, I have my Dose of Colors and Desi and Katy Friendcation Palette. This is what it looks like. I'm really excited, especially for this shade right here. I am excited to dip into that and see what it looks like on. That is pretty. It's hard to say. Oh, from this side, it looks pink. When I look down at it, it looks orange. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm dropping everything. Do any of you have this palette? I am excited to play with it. And again, thank you to Leah for gifting this to me so I could play with it on this channel. I also brought in my Colourpop Sweet Talk palette. I have used this some. It's definitely a palette I like in the spring, so I want to play with it a bit more so than I have. Because I would say I've played with it a handful of times, but that's definitely not enough. I need to really dig into this because this is definitely my color story for springtime. I pulled in this Maui cream eyeshadow stick, and it's in the shade Thistle, and for some reason I was thinking it was a lighter shade, but it's darker. So it's not the one I was thinking of when I pulled it, even though the sticker looks like what I was expecting, kind of like a champagne color, but this is more of a taupe. So we'll find a way to make it work. Sherbet Day is the one I'm thinking may not really fit everything else I pulled. It's a beautiful Super Shock, only it's pretty darn bright, and it really doesn't go with either palette, but I have other items I can use it with because it's really pretty, so we'll figure something out. I am panning I am working on a highlighter in one of my projects, but I thought this would give me a little versatility because sometimes that highlighter I'm using doesn't really go with the look. So I'm excited to play with this. I think I have worn the cream. I think all I've ever worn is the cream highlighter. I don't think I've worn anything else. I know I've swatched them, but I don't think I've ever worn them. So that one looks like the one that I'm working on in a project. Oh, that one didn't even pick up. Well, that's not good. Or did I? Oh, I didn't swatch it on that. I swatched it on the wrong finger. So we have just an extra one here. Let's use this cream and put it here instead. So that is the Solstice palette. I'm excited to play with this, to dip in and get to know it a little better and just actually use it. Whether I use it once or whether I use it every time I wear makeup, I will be happy regardless. All right, I pulled in my Dior. I do know when I ordered it, it was an ombre and then it came shattered, so I repressed it. I don't use this very often. In fact, it still has the imprint of when I repressed it. So that is it. It will make a beautiful blush topper, but I also think I could wear it just as a blush. It's a little soft, but I think mixed in with like my bronzer, I think it will make a beautiful, you know, pinky nude blush. And then the last items I pulled were lip items, and I pulled them mostly because I am panning 2 nudes, and right now I'm needing something with some pop of color. I'm just craving it. So I pulled in my Maybelline Pink For Me, which I really love the formula of Maybelline, and I really love this deeper, you know, pinker lip. This one is Desert Rose by NYX. It's from their Shout Loud collection, which came out last year. This one's somewhat of a drier formula. Definitely a bit of spring in there, a little zip and pop, if you will. It would go nicely with this look today. Well, both of them would. And then I have Soft Silver Red by Revlon. This is my all-time favorite lip formula. I just really like Revlon Super Lustrous. And this one is a pearl, so it has somewhat of a frosty sheen to it, but to me it's more like a strawberry red than like a really striking red, which is perfect for this time of year as well. So those are the 3 lips I pulled in just because I am craving some brighter lips. And I think any of them would have worked nicely with this look today. What do you guys think? So that is it for my Shop My Stash items for round 7. I will do a get ready with me sometime within the next month. So make sure you look for that if that's something that interests you. Please take good care, be safe, be smart, and I will see you on the next one.